You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Ferris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris. Good day to you, sir.
Yeah, whatever, John.
Good Friday. How are you?
Cheering me up. But I'm still stuck on, hello, spring, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's gonna get nice eventually because it's
Thursday
here.
was brutal.
Yeah.
People were losing shingles and garbage cans and small pets, and
I was going out in short sleeves because I am committed to spring.
you're rebelling, and
I am.
I respect that.
I wore shorts the other day when it was cold
Absolutely.
out. So
Speaking of warm weather, and this isn't, normally I'll bounce through 3 celebrity, well-known birthdays and say a little bit about them. We're only doing 1 today.
only one?
Because it begs a fascinating story that unfolded here. Gosh, I want to say maybe a year and a half ago, right here on Sunday 93.3.
I look forward to hearing the story.
Happy birthday, and he would be 962 years old today.
Oh, my.
Juan Ponce de Leon.
Oh, my.
Now, how does that work into the legendary fabric of this radio station? Well, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, I remember this tale.
I'm sitting here one day putting some historical events together, and I'm going, how did they pull this off? Because the listing was the very first official cross-country automobile race in the United States take place.
Yeah.
From New York to Alaska.
Yeah.
And I'm going, so did they have to ferry those cars?
Yeah.
Put them on a boat to get them to Alaska? How does that even work?
And I said
how does that even count if it's cross-country?
They drove
gotta
through
go on?
Canada.
And John walks in the studio and he goes, What?
Yeah.
I said, well, there's a road race scene. They go from New York to Alaska. But once they hit the coast up there, Pacific Northwest, whatever, they're going to have to put those cars on a ferry. And I'm not sure how this even works.
Yeah.
And John goes, wait.
Yeah.
You think Alaska's an island? To which Heidi goes, well, yeah. So we're both sitting here looking at John like, hey, pound sand, dude. And he jumps out of his chair and literally yells, who am I, Ponce de Leon? Straighten this out, which cracked me up.
Good times.
He found Florida, dude. That was a whole different part of the country. And it just kind of became legend because Heidi and I literally, there's no shame in our game, both of us, as grown-ups, believed Alaska was.
And we're not the only ones.
No. Others came out of the woodwork to tell us that they also
because we posted it on the Sunny Facebook page, and other people started chiming in and going, as much as I don't want to admit it, I was in my 20s before I figured it out. Yeah.
So some people, I paid attention at school.
But John was just beside himself.
My favorite thing is when I ask, where do you think Alaska is? And you go, off the west coast of Texas?
Texas! Right next to Hawaii.
The west coast of Texas? What? Oh, good times.
I'm just a victim of our public school system. What can I?
I am too.
What can I? Yeah,
Good times.
See?
All
Completely
of us.
different
Not my fault. The
generations
map
too.
that was at the front of the room every day, all day long.
Yeah, but every now and again we still refer to John as Ponce.
Ponce de Leon.
Who am I, Ponce de Leon? Apparently. So there you go. Let's do a little history, shall we?
We shall, yes.
Let's do that. It was 1766. The very first fire escape is patented.
Nice.
Beauty. It was a marvel. It was a wicker basket
Oh, wow.
on a pulley with a chain.
What could go wrong?
Nothing. You consider baskets a little bit flammable. They're basically just kindling tied together. It was 1820, and this is absolutely beautiful. I love this piece of art. 1820, the famous ancient Greek statue, Venus de Milo,
Oh, yeah.
is discovered in the debris.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how she lost her arms.
I didn't
Venus
know
de
that.
Milo does not have arms.
Yeah.
And it's still absolutely perfect when you think about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, no arms, but when you check the headlights and you just go, hey, all right, we can forgive it.
I guess I never noticed there were no arms.
1943, President Franklin Roosevelt, in an attempt to, and how's this for timely, 1943, in an attempt to slow down big-time inflation.
Yeah.
This is what he did, all completely illegal. Freezes wages and prices across the board, prohibits workers from changing jobs unless it will aid the war effort, bans all rate increases to common carriers and all public utilities.
Oh, wow.
So essentially, he just flatlines the entire economy. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
So, yeah, a lot of people, man, they just love Franklin Roosevelt. And I look at his history and go, no, not so much. Not so much. How many 100,000 Japanese did you put in a little prison camp there, Frank?
It was a different time back then,
It
wasn't
certainly
it?
was, yeah. So, boy, crazy stuff. So I know, we all know, we just forge ahead, maybe take a little trip to Alaska.
There you go. It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
Are you looking for an energy drink that's natural, lasts longer, has no dyes, no artificial flavorings, and no sugar? Blitz Energy Drink is the answer. With only 10 calories per serving and 200 milligrams of caffeine, our formula will help increase your focus, endurance, mood, and energy levels. Order now at drinkblitzenergy.com. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% and get free shipping on any canister. drinkblitzenergy.com. Promo code RADIO20. That's drinkblitzenergy.com.
Time now for a bright spot of news. We've got Jamie Wood joining us once again from the Small Business Administration. And last time we spoke, we talked about the EIDL program, but there's also a thing called the Drought EIDL program. Let's talk about that.
Last year in 2021, earlier in the season, before we started to get the rain during late summer, we had droughts in many counties. Over 30 counties got hit by drought, and there was drought declarations made by the Secretary of Agriculture. When that happens, SDA and all other agencies, too, that have something to do with drought response, we did respond with what we call the Drought EIDL. So if you're in a county that, and you can find out where those counties are at sba.gov/disaster, just click on, there's a little sublink in there that says declarations, and you click on that, and you put in your state and your county, and it'll let you know what the drought one is. It's very clear. I went through the process earlier today, knowing that you and I were going to talk, and I wanted to make sure, that it worked really fluidly. Anyway, you can click on that, and those drought applications are available on there. Now, if you've already gotten an EIDL for COVID-19, you may be eligible, if you're in one of the drought applicable counties, to get more EIDL that's specific to drought. And if you're asking if I already used my collateral for a larger disaster loan for COVID-19, can I still use that for the Drought EIDL? And we get this question a lot, and the answer is no, you may not double use your collateral. However, you can get up to $25,000 without having to use collateral. So that's a big deal for businesses, because that extra $25,000 of disaster recovery it can make all the difference in making your payroll or keeping your lights on, from one month to the other, and maybe even keeping you from shutting down. So please do look at sba.gov/disaster for all of that information. You can always give us a call. We can help you out too locally, 605-330-4243. We're glad to be connected with small businesses in the state.
And let's take a peek here at something coming up. National Small Business Week. It's the first full week of May, which sounds like a long ways away, but it's sneaking right up, isn't it?
It is. We're only a few weeks away. We're just about, 6 weeks away from Small Business Week. So National Small Business Week, we usually have it every year, and it typically is in the first week of May. But the last couple of years during the pandemic, it's been at different times. One year it was moved to the fall, and then last year we did not have it because people were still recovering from the disaster economically. So we are so glad to get back in the saddle and have this year again. And we have many small businesses in South Dakota that are going to be named Small Businesses of the Year for different types of categories. We have several categories. And then we'll have one that will be an overarching Small Business of the Year for South Dakota. But this is happening in every district and state and U.S. territory for the SBA. And so there's a lot of small business champions that are going to be amplified. We have a national event that's going to take place sometime between the week of 2 and 7 May. And then that's still going to be announced when that's going to be, that event. And we will have a South Dakota winner that will be amplified nationally. And then we're going to have our local one that same week, too. So we'll have more details coming up in the next few weeks. It'll be a big virtual event, so it's easy for everyone to attend it or watch it on demand. And we're just really glad to be at a position kind of moving out of this pandemic. We're not totally out of the woods yet, but we are getting there and repositioning to really have a robust economy moving along again post-pandemic. So we're pretty excited to amplify these businesses during Small Business Week.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for all that you've done over the last few years. You literally have saved several businesses from going out of business. Without the resources that SBA provides, they would have been in a whole different situation. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. It's definitely a team sport, and we are here to give our all to help small businesses during this time of need. Whether they're growing, starting, or recovering from disaster. We just really are here to help. And you can check us out at sba.gov/SD for more information on programs that we offer.
Very nice. Jamie, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Again, the website, sba.gov/SD. That's for South Dakota. Again, sba.gov/SD.
Join us in October for The Sands, a week of music and fun that's been described as the best week ever by many guests. This year we have more icons and more fun. Loverboy, Belinda Carlisle, Lou Graham, Vanilla Ice, Samantha Fox, Firehouse, and many more already on the schedule. Plus, more announcements coming soon. Plan to join us October 25th through the 30th at Planet Hollywood Beach Resort Cancun. This all-inclusive event will be the time of your life. Learn more now at radiotravelgroup.com.
And now, stuff Dan finds interesting. Yeah.
It is time for Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. Dan, what do you find interesting on this Friday?
This is pretty serious, actually. I've been following this story, and holy cow, I had no idea. It's now affecting all zoos in America.
What's that?
Dateline, Omaha, Nebraska. What's the big zoo in Omaha?
Oh, Henry Dorley.
Yeah, it's a fantastic place. Zoos across North America moving all of their birds, basically quarantining all their birds at the zoos away from people, wildlife alike, as they try to protect them from what is a super contagious, highly potentially deadly outbreak of avian influenza or bird flu.
Oh, wow.
Penguins may be about the only birds that visitors in many zoos are going to be able to see in the next little while because they're already kept inside and usually behind protective plexi
Glass,
and all
yeah.
that kind of thing. So
They got to put the penguins behind bulletproof glass because
They do.
of all the penguin gangs.
It's true. Drive-bys, yeah. Listen to these numbers. Nearly 23 million chickens and turkeys have already been killed across the United States
wow.
to limit the spread
Holy
of the
cow.
virus. Zoos working hard to prevent any of their birds from meeting the same fate. Birds spread that virus through droppings, nasal discharge. Experts say it can spread through contaminated equipment, clothing, boots, and vehicles carrying supplies.
So these birds that have been destroyed,
Right.
are they edible still or they're not
No.
even?
Nope.
Really?
They just, bury them.
Yikes.
Yeah, they're just
That's
gone.
terrible.
That
So
is too bad.
this first came to actually fruition in 1996. The avian flu, the bird flu, influenza H5N1, now known as influenza A, when the people get it, 1996. You'll never guess where it originated.
Where?
A goose farm in China.
Ah, shocker.
China.
I didn't know that.
Shocker.
They just keep on giving. Hey, somebody just put a dome over China, will you? Enough is enough, isn't
That'd
it?
be fantastic.
Don't they
enough
have
is
a
enough.
wall? They do have a wall.
It's a great wall. As a matter of fact.
I see what you did there.
See it from space. So
All
there
right.
you go. Hey, happy Friday, guys.
All right.
Yeah, right
Thank you,
back
sir.
at you.
Have a blessed weekend. I'll catch up with you next week.
That's why we refer to this as Stuff Dan Finds Interesting on the John and Heidi Show. Bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
What can I say that I haven't already said about BetterCreditCards.com? It's a website. You go there to get a better credit card. Okay, that's really probably all I need to say for most of you, but I still have time left, so how about this? At BetterCreditCards.com, we have different kinds of credit cards, some with better points and perks, some designed to help you build your credit. Whatever stage of life you happen to be in, we want to help. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Friday, April 8th, 2022. Equities wobbled Thursday after comments from several Fed members, with the FOMC meeting minutes pointing to a series of aggressive interest rate hikes. The move put the S&P 500 at the lowest level in 3 weeks, and selling may not be over even with Thursday's bounce. There are growing indications that economic headwinds worsened in Q1 and will worsen again in Q2. That situation is having a negative impact on guidance, and the outlook for earnings growth is the primary driver of stock market action. While the consensus estimate for Q1 earnings growth continues to rise, it is due entirely to the high price of oil and should be looked at with caution. The risk for the market next week will be earnings and the economy. Not only is it the start of peak earning reporting season, but the CPI for March is due out, as well as retail sales. The CPI is expected to rise from the previous month. The question is, by how much, and how will it affect the outlook for interest rate hikes? You can get the inside track in your inbox at marketbeatminute.com.